cool way to enter a room. The world is your oyster. Comfy chair? I have seen Julius today. Oh my God, I've been so hoping he wouldn't be. Oh, take his seat. It doesn't have his name on it. I've been sitting in his seat for a while. I had 2 classes today that I didn't have any kids in person. So strange. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's usually just me and David, which is very awkward. I'm sure even more awkward for him than for me.
And then when the kids get to leave the Zoom early and you're still sitting there.
Yep.
Yeah, like they're like, all right, you guys are dismissed, and then you're just sitting there like,
yeah, it's like, so how's it going, David?
I'm glad that's not the case with teachers that I do not know.
Yeah, I agree.
For more than 2 years.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be fine. I wouldn't feel super awkward if it was just any of you and me. Still better that it's all of you. What? No, nothing.
Oh.
I think that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, maybe.
Last week, guys. It's the last week before we get a little break.
Wow, I'm so excited.
How long is the break?
Me too. 2 weeks.
Oh.
2 full weeks. You know what, though? I already feel like it wasn't long enough, and it hasn't even happened.
Yeah, I'm still missing break.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's no good. It's just hard. School's just hard right now. And like, while I love having some kids here, these last couple of classes where I only had kids online were easier because it sucks to like try to divide your attention. Like, I always feel like I'm ignoring somebody. And like, there's nothing you can really do about it, but so. All right, I'm gonna let Isaiah into this room. I was thinking, yes, Kayla and Tom might show up, but.
Kayla is with Kinsey.
Okay.
So.
What does that mean in regards to class?
Is that Kinsey staying there?
Oh, okay.
Maybe, unless Kayla can roll over.
Unless Kayla just doesn't show up. Oh, I meant to tell Miss Cathan that Kayla told me the new Starbucks is open.
Oh, yeah.
It's close to Cathan's house, so I should go. What's happening out there? I was sitting in that chair where Julius is sitting during my last class, and some middle schooler I've never even seen before just came in and used my garbage can and didn't even like acknowledge me.
That's why you need to close your door.
I was like, hello? I guess so. I don't want like strange children coming in here. Oh, here's Kayla. Here's Kayla.
I don't know. This year's felt like the most strange children. You know, like
Yes.
the past years
They're
were like,
also
you
so
know,
tiny.
They're
yeah,
so
they're
small.
so much tinier than last year.
Yeah, these 6th graders are infants.
Okay, I thought it was just like me because like I grew up.
No.
But,
I
like,
can't believe that.
We have like,
I forgot who I asked.
it's because they're drinking that organic milk now. They're
I
not
bet it
growing
is.
this stuff.
They're not growing. What else did I just read about? Yeah. Oh, I saw it on Hannibal. Have you guys watched that show? It's like pretty good.
Tried.
Just not into it.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, maybe I'll try again someday.
I just started watching it yesterday, but I am like 6 or 7 episodes in. And they said that ADHD meds can stunt growth.
Yeah,
which like
they're so messed up.
I didn't like research it, but I feel like it wouldn't have been blatantly stated on TV, like if that weren't true. I feel like shows like that try to be pretty factual. Oh, Tom's turning in.
My oldest brother has like pretty bad ADHD, but my parents never gave him
Medicine?
for it,
Yeah.
because it's just so messed up. Like I might have a doctor, so he like knows how sick of it is,
Yeah.
and they seriously like so crazy.
Yeah.
It's so strong.
It's so strong. It's
so strong
just
and so
speed,
And
basically.
it's lucky too, because my brother, he's the tallest person in the family.
Oh, really?
So,
Nice.
I think my brother would have been called for like he has ADHD because
Maybe it-
maybe his son is growing.
Yeah, maybe
He said
so.
He's gonna be like 6 foot, but he's nowhere close. to
No,
that.
he's not. I mean, I guess he could still grow
Like literally,
some.
the doctors were like, he's gonna be super duper tall. But I'm like, where?
Yeah.
Where's the height?
I guess he
It's
could.
a habit among people named Thomas.
It's what?
The habit among people named Thomas.
To be short.
Yeah, but you're told that you're going to be really, really tall.
Oh, really? They told you you're gonna be really tall?
Yeah,
I feel like
my
you're
brother-
normal size now, like you're average. But I like when you were younger, you were pretty small. You're pretty short.
I still am relatively short, but yeah. My brother is 6'11" and my dad is 6'2".
6'11"?
Yes.
his brother.
What?
Wait, 6'11"?
That's
To be fair,
third.
My brother, I think my
yeah,
brother.
it's ridiculous. He almost hits his head on every single door frame that he walks through.
Yeah. That's out of
To be fair,
control. Do you have any
he
photos
has Marcy
side by
with
side?
me.
Side one
Um,
and like an average size person.
Probably. I could probably find one.
I
Um,
can't imagine.
My brother said he wants to be better.
But to be fair, he does have Marfan, which means that his heart is really, really big. I think.
I heard about that on Grey's Anatomy. Actually, I get all of my information from primetime dramas.
So basically, in the long run, he's gonna die before I do. So who really wins here?
Wait.
Yeah.
People die.
Well, so he was saying he has Marfan syndrome, which like does
Yeah.
result in extremely tall people, but also his heart's really big,
Oh,
and I think he would be like likely to have a heart attack when he's younger, right?
Yeah, he had to get surgery for it, so he's like a big like Viking scar down the center of his chest.
Oh my gosh, does he look like a Viking? Like, just being so
He
tall,
looks like me, but a lot bigger.
crazy.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Tom stretched out?
Tom, isn't
What?
it great?
What?
Hair straight is what he said.
No. It's kind of curly because it's long.
Oh, I thought I saw a picture of it and it was straight or something.
Whenever it's short, I can't hear you, by the way, but I'm just gonna speak up.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whenever it's short, his hair is pretty straight, but like mine, whenever it gets to like a certain length, it gets really curly, and then it gets straight again.
Wow.
What? What did you say?
What?
I'm not gonna continue to translate. It happens every time.
I heard like hair straighter.
When his hair's short, it's straighter, but when it starts to grow out, it's more like Tom's.
What?
But nothing. He didn't say anything. There's literally nothing. I like ending my day with you guys. Okay, so we have a post. We have what? We have a new text today, and the post will be due on Friday. Yes. It's a quick turnaround for this one, but you'll be all right. I mean, the good thing about this class is that you have a lot of time to work on stuff in class. I don't think everybody always utilizes that, but you have it. So I posted this earlier.
about technology.
It is, in fact. Oh, this is before we like actually get started. I just wanted to point out that I thought about this a minute ago because I said I learned about Marfan syndrome from Grey's Anatomy, and like I've watched Grey's Anatomy since it came out. It's on its 16th season now, so it's been a long time. And I also used to read medical books when I was a kid because that's what kids do. I know.
Lovely.
It's weird. But when I got sick, like 2 weeks ago now, at first I thought I had a kidney stone because I was just having like a lot of pain in my side. And then like a couple of days later, I had these spots on me, and I'm not gonna lie, I thought I just like slept on the heating pad and burned myself. I've done that before. It's really dumb. In fact, I did it one time like a couple of years ago, and I burned my head and had this horrible scab. And I remember walking into Benveduti's class one day, and he just like busted out laughing. I was like, "What?" He said, "That looks so ugly." I was like, "Thanks, friend. I appreciate you."
Thank you so much. That makes me feel
I
a lot
know.
better.
But once I noticed it wasn't a burn, and I'm sorry, this is gross, but it was like a rash, and I started looking into stuff between like pain and rashes, and it turned out I had shingles, and I like emailed my doctor, and I was like, "Hey, I think I might have shingles actually," and she was like, "No, you don't. Like, you're too young. Send me a picture of the rash though," and I sent it to her, and she was like, "Oh my God, you have shingles. That's an incredible like self-diagnosis." She told me maybe I should be in medicine. I was like, well, Grey's Anatomy. But I did have shingles for a while, and it was very, very miserable. And when I was out last week, that was why. Yeah, it was no good. Yes, it hurts so bad.
You're also sick at the same time.
You like don't feel good, sort of like fluey a little bit,
And then like exterior.
yeah, like it
hurt as
hurts
well.
inside, and then this is so gross, and I'm sorry, but the rash is like blisters, and so like you hurt inside, and you itch, and your skin burns, and it hurts. So like it's really bad. Yeah.
I remember my cousin had chickenpox.
Yeah.
She had to stay here because like she couldn't go on the plane, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
It's so
and
contagious.
she's British, so she hadn't been vaccinated. That's like an optional thing
Yeah.
in England. So it's like, and she had like dots all over her. I didn't know like chickenpox was actually like you literally have dots everywhere.
Yeah. Did you never have chickenpox? Did you have the vaccine? Yeah. And that like the day that I was out, the school nurse called me, and I thought she was just checking on me, which was a little strange because we don't know each other that well. But she was actually making sure, like, is all of your rash covered? Because if the stuff from the rash got on anyone who had not had either the chickenpox or the chickenpox vaccine, my shingles could give them chickenpox. So weird. Yeah, it's such a weird illness. Anyway, let's talk about technology. I have posted the new thing. It is, I just went to the wrong section actually, but under announcements, it's listed on our like syllabus or whatever as the television generation, but it's actually called the plug-in drug. So I looked all around for the television generation and didn't find anything by that title, but this is about the television generation. So I think I just wrote it wrong.
This is also about
Yeah. Yeah, all of this unit is basically about technology. Isaiah, I will check out that video after we read this. Okay. I'll share my screen with you guys if that's easier. If it's not, 5 pages. Were you excited? Did you felt like? Okay. It should go pretty quickly. Anybody want to read?
Sure.
Okay.
But can you? I'm gonna be watching your screen, so can you just try and like just interrupt it as much as possible?
I can, but you know what? Hang on, because I fixed this so that the sound comes out of it, so you guys can hear him better. Oh.
Thank goodness I can't hear myself, because I would hate to hear this. Never mind.
I know it is. This should work anyway. It worked earlier.
Can we hear him today?
Well, hang on now, because it sounds like it's not working, in which case I'm gonna lose it.
Hello?
Yeah, you're just coming through my, where's the sound thing? You're just coming through the computer, not through the screen. But say something else to me, Tom.
Something else to me, Tom.
Ugh, why? Okay.
If you have to go
Output.
on Zoom-
But you know what? It did it when I wasn't on Zoom.
So funny. Who is that?
Z.
Told you.
Okay, how do I? Wait a minute. Let me stop sharing for just a minute so that I can.
So you gotta click the Zoom.
On the top left, top left, top left, next to that. Next to
Tough.
that. Top left,
Oh, okay.
top left, next to that.
Okay.
Perfect.
Hang on.
And audio.
Okay. So it should be like here, right?
Yeah,
Should
the
be like
speaker
output, output.
Okay. Stop that. I got it.
Now test it. Test it.
Thomas, say something to us.
Hello.
Okay.
Ah, yes.
If that works.
Got it.
I
Yes.
really can't tell what's up.
Congratulations.
Say something else.
Oh my God, I'm so
Say
glad.
something.
Say something.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Why is Kinsey telling me to say something?
Because I want.
Stop.
You weren't saying anything.
No, I
No.
wasn't saying anything because Julius told me to. Jeez.
I'm so sorry. I feel like you just get so attacked. You
You
know, you-
abandoned us for
Last
almost an entire
You know, I'm
semester.
used to it. I get attacked in every
How's
aspect
it
of my
come back?
life. So
Last year, Bryce wasn't even in our class, and he'd come in and be like, "Kinsey, I'll send your dad a gift basket if you transfer to another school."
Be a part of it, I don't think.
You know, actually, Sarah, now that you mention it, that's a good point. You chose not to take this class, and here you are trying to be a part of it.
Now you're.
Looks like your client has
I
decided to
did choose not to take this class, and I'm very, like,
go 5 minutes.
be a better part of
5
the day.
minutes.
His
What?
mic is
More.
What's saying 5 minutes?
Who has 5 minutes?
What's saying 5 minutes?
Listen. Right, goofy.
We watch it.
That's me. That's the video I sent you. with
What
the-
is it? What is the video? Let's look at it.
It's about Goofy from Mickey Mouse.
He sounds like Goofy from Mickey Mouse. All right. Okay.
Will the
We'll
suspect please
Oh,
take the
wait.
stand?
okay. We will watch this. We'll go ahead and watch this, and then we'll. Yeah, because you know what? I hate Goofy. I really do.
You guys can handle a few bad words here and there. Thank you.
Don't watch this in class?
So, yeah, that's not a good idea.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. We won't. We won't.
There you go.
Oh, I'll watch this later.
Yeah, watch it later.
Okay. Where's my what happened to the friggin' okay, here we go. Let me move my face. Okay, Tom, does this look good to you to start?
Unfortunately, yes. Zoom out a bit.
Zoom out?
Like, or are you gonna scroll?
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll.
Okay.
I'm gonna follow along with you.
All right. Not much more than 50 years after the introduction of television. Okay. You just kind of zoomed out while I was reading. So
I did? I didn't even,
Yeah.
okay. My hands are off of it.
Okay. Keep them up in the air for the remainder of the class. Please, thank you. Not much more than 50 years after the introduction of television into American society, the medium, your hands aren't up. The medium has become so
They're
deeply
just
ingrained in
low.
daily life that in many states, the TV has attained the rank of a legal necessity, safe from repossession in the case of debt, along with clothes and cooking utensils. Only in the early years after television's introduction did writers and commentators have sufficient perspective to separate the activity of watching television from the actual content it offers the viewer. In those days, writers frequently discussed the effects of television on family life. However, a curious myopia,
Nearsightedness.
I was right the first time. Myopia afflicted those first observers. Almost without exception, they regarded television as a favorable, beneficial, indeed wondrous influence upon the family. Television is going to be a real asset in every home where there are children, predicted a writer in 1949. Television will take over your way of living and change children's habits, but this change can be a wonderful improvement, claimed another commentator. No surveys needed, of course, to establish that television has brought out the family together in one room, wrote the New York Times television critic in 1949. The early articles about television were almost invariably accompanied by a photograph or illusion showing a family cozily sitting together before the television set. Sis on mom's lap, Buddy perched on the arm of dad's chair, dad with his arm around mom's shoulder. Who would have guessed that 20 or so years later, mom would be watching a drama in the kitchen. The kids would be looking at cartoons in the room while dad would be taking in the ball game in the living room. Of course, television sets were enormously expensive when they first came on the market. The idea that by the year 2000, more than 3/4 of all American families would own 2 or more sets would have seemed preposterous. It's a fancy word. The splintering of the multiple set family was something the early writers did not foresee, nor did anyone imagine the number of hours children would eventually devote to television. The changes television would affect upon child rearing methods, the increasing domination of family schedules by children's viewing requirements, in short, the power of television to dominate family life. As children's consumption of the new medium increased together with a parental concern about the possible effects of so much television viewing, a steady refrain helped soothe and reassure anxious parents. Television always enters a pattern of influences that already exist: the home, the peer group, the school, the church, and the culture generally, wrote the authors of an early influential study of television's effects on children. In other words, if the child's home life is all right, parents need not worry about the effects of too much television watching. But television did not merely influence the child, it deeply influenced that pattern of influences everyone hoped would ameliorate. Is it an N or an R? That's an R.
It's an M.
Ameliorate. An M? No,
M.
I was saying. I know. But later in the word, it's an R.
Oh, it's an R. Rate.
Ameliorate the new medium's effects. Home and family life have changed in important ways since the advent of television. The peer group has become television oriented, and much of the time children spend together is occupied by television viewing. Culture generally has been transformed by television. Participation in church and community activities has diminished, with television a primary cause of this change. Therefore, it is improper to assign to television the subsidiary role its many apologists insist it plays. Television is not merely one of a number of important influences among today's child. Though the changes it has made in family life, television emerges as the important influence in children's lives today.
The quality of life.
Thank you. Television's contribution to family life has been an unequivocal one. For while it has indeed kept the members of the family from dispersing, it has not served to bring them together. By its domination of the time the families spend together, it destroys the special quality that distinguishes one family from another. A quality that depends to a great extent on what a family does, what special rituals, games, recurrent jokes, familiar songs, and shared activities it accumulates. Yet parents have accepted a television-dominated family life so completely that they cannot see how the medium is involved in whatever problems they might be having. A first grade teacher reports, I have one child in the group who's an only child. I wanted to find out more about her family life because this little girl was quite isolated from the group. Didn't make friends, so I talked to her mother. Well, they don't have the time to do anything in the evening, the mother said. The parents come home after picking up the child at the babysitter's. Then the mother fixes dinner while the child watches TV. Then they have dinner and the child goes to bed. I said to this mother, well, couldn't she help you fix dinner? That would be a nice time for the two of you to talk. And the mother said, oh, but I'd hate to have her miss Zoom. It's such a good program.
Zoom did used to be a TV show, like when I was a kid. And like, I never would have, when I see it now, I think about the program we're on. I don't even think about that. It was just like an after school show where like kids did crafts and like you learned about stuff. But,
Several decades ago, right?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, while I'm interrupting, I really liked the sentence, for while it has indeed kept the members of the family from dispersing, it does not serve to bring them together. Because that's not the same thing. Like, just being in each other's vicinity isn't the same thing as like being brought together. And I think about this one friend of mine in particular who always complains about like anytime she goes home, all her parents want to do is just like sit there and watch TV. He's like, I'd rather like have conversations and like ask each other questions. We're not like bonding in any kind of way when we're just sitting here watching TV. So I think that's kind of the same idea, but I liked that distinction. You can continue.
Finally. Sorry.
Such a
Several
jerk.
decades ago, a writer and mother of two boys aged 3 and 7 described her family's television schedule in a newspaper article. Though some of the programs her kids watched then have changed, the situation she described remains the same for the great numbers of families today. We were in the midst of a full-scale war. Every day it was a new battle, and every program was a major skirmish. We agreed it was a bad scene all around, and we were and were ready to enter diplomatic negotiations. In principle, we have agreed on 2.5 hours of TV a day, Sesame Street Electric Company with dinner gobbled up in between, and 2.5 hour shows between 7 and 8:30, which enables the grown-ups to eat in peace and prevents the two boys from destroying one another. Their pre-bedtime choice is dreadful because, as Josh recently admitted, there's nothing much on that I really like. So it's what's my line, or to tell the truth. Clearly, there's a need for first-rate children's shows at this time.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to scroll.
It's
It won't let me scroll to the left at all, but oh well. If you can see it, we're fine.
It happens, I guess. Consider the family life described here. Presumably, the father comes home from work during Sesame Street Electric Company's stint. The children are either watching television, gobbling dinner, or both. While the parents eat their dinner in peaceful privacy, the children watch another hour of television. Then there is only a half hour left before bedtime. Just enough time to get baths, pajamas on, brushing teeth, and so on. I did not read that right. The children's evening is regimented with an almost military precision. They watch their favorite programs, and when there is nothing much on I would like, they watch whatever else is on, because watching is the important thing. Their mother does not see anything amiss with watching programs just for the sake of watching. She only wishes there were some first-rate children's shows on at those times. Without conjuring up fantasies of bygone eras with family games and long leisurely meals, the question arises, isn't there a better family life available than this dismal, mechanized arrangement of children watching television for however long is allowed them, evening after evening? Of course, families today still do things together at times. Go camping in the summer, go to the zoo on a nice Saturday, take various trips and expeditions, but their ordinary daily life is diminished. Those hours of sitting around at the dinner table by children on the spur of the moment, when there is nothing else to do, the scribbling, the sabatting. What?
I'm sure it's supposed to be chatting, but what a weird typo.
The sabatting, and even the quarreling, all things that form the fabric of a family, that define a childhood. Instead, the children have their regular schedule of television programs and bedtime, and the parents have their peaceful dinner together. The author of the quoted newspaper article notes that keeping a family sane means meditating between the needs of both children and adults. But surely the needs of the adults in that family were being better met than the needs of the children. The kids were effectively shunted away and rendered untroublesome, while their parents enjoyed a life as undemanding as as that of any childless couple. In reality, it is those very demands that young children make upon a family that lead to growth, and it is the way that parents respond to those demands that builds the relationships. Upon which the future of the family depends. If the family does not accumulate its backlog of shared experiences, shared everyday experiences that occur and recur and change and develop, then it is not likely to survive as anything other than a caretaking institution.
Family rituals.
Thank you. Ritual is defined by sociologists as that part of family life that the family likes about itself, is proud of, and wants formally to continue. Another text notes that the development of a ritual by a family is an index of the common interest of its members in the family as a group. What has happened to family rituals? Those regular, dependable, recurrent happenings that give members of a family a feeling of belonging to a home rather than living in it merely for the sake of convenience. Those experiences that act as the adhesive of family far more than any material advantages. Mealtime rituals, going to bed rituals, illness rituals, holiday rituals. How many of these have survived the inroads of the television set? A young woman who grew up near Chicago reminisces about her childhood and gives the idea of the effects of television upon family rituals. Julius is the young woman in this case. Julius, go ahead and read for us.
Huh? What you say?
I'm on the TV. You should be able to hear me.
It's all like,
It is a little, maybe if you were a little further from your mic, it might be clearer to us. I don't know. We can try. It sounds very close.
It might be my Wi-Fi. Is this better?
Well, yeah, that sounds better, except for the like in between. Yeah, mostly that sounds better.
Okay.
Did you ask Julius to read this part?
Yes.
Okay. Would you be able to hear him if he did?
No, but that's not exactly an issue.
Okay.
What part?
As a child.
I can read this whole thing.
That's not that much.
Yeah.
So much.
Your friend Tom has been reading this whole thing.
Okay.
You guys did not tell me that my mic sounded like doo-doo.
Your own problem. Alright. As a child, I had millions of relatives around. My parents both came from relatively large families. My father had 9. What the freak?
That's a lot.
That's a lot. My father had 9 brothers and sisters. And so every holiday there was this great swoop down of aunts of the millions of cousins. I just remember how. It's so funny. I just remember how wonderful it used to be. Your cousins.
Oh my God.
Because the cousins would come and everyone would play ultimately after dinner. All the women would be in the front of the house drinking and smoking. Whoa! And all the kids would be all over the place.
You like skipped a whole line.
I did?
Yes, drinking coffee and talking.
Oh,
They didn't smoke immediately.
what did you
I don't know. Didn't you skip all the men would be in the back of the house?
front of the house, drinking coffee and talking. All the men would be in the back of the house, drinking and smoking.
There you go.
And all the kids would be all over the place, playing hide and seek. Ow! Christmas, really. Well, Christmas time was particularly nice because everyone always brought all their toys and games. Our house had a couple of rooms with soap and closets.
Oh, I guess they're like connected by closets.
I think they need to walk it.
Well, if you finish the sentence, it sounds like they're just running. I don't know.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Okay, so there were all these kids running in great circles. no longer playing Monopoly or Clue or the other games. We just played it. It was because we had television. I didn't turn on for all that socializing that had gone on previously had ended. Now everyone was sitting in front of the television set on a holiday at a family party. I remember being stunned by how awful that was. Somehow the television had become more attractive. Tom, it's your turn.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you. I'm far away. As families have come to spend more and more of their time engaged in, what did you say?
It's not important.
I said it sucks to suck.
That's kind of mean.
It is very mean.
Yeah. Okay. As families have come to spend more and more of their time together, engaged in the single activity of television watching, those rituals and patterns that once gave family life its special quality have become more and more uncommon. Not since prehistoric times when cave families hunted, gathered, etc. Does it say? Okay, no. Ate and slept, with little time remaining to accumulate a culture of any significance, have families been reduced to such a sameness.
Real people.
Thank you. Sorry. In my throat. It was just really funny. The relationships of family members to each other are affected by television's powerful competition in both obvious and subtle ways. For surely the hours that children will spend in a one-way relationship with television people, involvement that allows it with no communication or interaction, must have some effect on their relationship with real-life people. Studies show the importance of eye-to-eye contact, for instance, in real-life relationships, and indicate that the nature of one's eye contact patterns, whether one looks another squarely in the eye, or looks to the side, or shifts one gaze to the side, may play a significant role in one's success or failure in human relationships. But no eye contact is possible in the child-television relationship. Although to certain children's programs, okay, it's hard to read from far away.
What?
Okay, it's hard to read from far away.
You told me to zoom out at first, so I don't know how to help you.
I was close to my computer.
Now you're like
no eye contact.
here, yeah.
It's cut off a bit. Never mind. There we go.
What?
Sorry. Yeah, never mind. My screen is kind of laggy. But no eye contact is possible in the child-television relationship. Although in certain children's programs, people support to speak directly to the child, and the camera fosters this illusion by focusing directly upon the person being filmed. How might such a distortion affect the child's development of trust, of openness, of an ability to relate well to real people? Bruno Bettel, it's a
Bettelheim. It's an 8.
Bettelheim suggestion answer. Can Kinsey be Bruno Bettelheim?
Sure. Kinsey, are you with us? Do you want to read for a second?
Oh God.
Tom requested that you be Bruno Bettelheim.
Okay. Children have been taught or conditioned to listen passively most of the day to the warm verbal communications coming from the TV screen, to the deep emotional appeal of the so-called TV personality, are often unable to respond to real persons because they arouse so much less feeling than the skilled actor. Worse, they lose the ability to learn from reality because life experiences are much more complicated than the ones they see on the screen.
How eloquent and clear.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that writing was really good.
I mean, it was fine.
A teacher makes similar observation about her personal viewing experiences. Can Madison read this one?
Madison, are you with us? Tom wants you to read this bit. You can look at everything. Yeah, the one that's like set off. Oh, okay. They could probably hear you better closer anyway.
I have trouble mobilizing myself to be able to really go after watching a 2 hours of television. It's just hard to make that transition from watching television imagine that public hardware might need to do the same thing for a small child, particularly one who has a lot of children.
Very good.
Am I supposed to keep going?
No, this is Tom's bit.
Oh, you're so fat.
She said you were fat.
What?
Madison said you were fat. I don't know why that tickled me. I should be encouraging bullying, but he's just very much not. Ah.
You're kind of Madison. But more obviously damaging to family relationships is the 25 elimination of opportunities to talk and converse or to argue.
Oh, that got me good.
Why is it in the middle of the page?
I don't know why. I didn't
Paragraph
write.
marker. The elimination of opportunities to talk and converse or to argue, to air grievances between parents and children and brothers and sisters. Families frequently use television to avoid confronting their problems that will not go away if they are ignored, but will only fester and become less easily resolvable as time goes on. A mother reports. Can Sarah please pay attention and Julius read?
What?
Wait, what? I was looking at the number. Where are we?
A mother
demands-
reports.
What?
What?
A mother reports. It's like right under the 25.
Why is he choosing to read?
I don't know.
Another
I'm doing the bulk of work here.
Assert dominance, okay?
I find myself with 3 children. One who can turn on the TV set when they're fighting. I really have to struggle not to do it because I feel that's telling them this is what they want. But it's so tempting that I often do it.
A family therapist discusses the use of television as an avoidance mechanism. In a family, I know the father comes home from work and turns on the television set. The children come and watch with him, and the wife serves them their meal in front of the set. He then goes and takes a shower or works on the car or something. She then goes and has her own dinner in front of the television set. It's a symptom of a deeper rooted problem, sure, but it would help them all to get rid of the set. It would be far easier to work on what the symptom really means without the television. The television simply encourages a double avoidance of each other. They'd find out more quickly what was going on if they weren't able to hide behind the TV. Things wouldn't necessarily be better, of course, but they wouldn't be anesthetized. Can Sarah read this?
Listen up. Can Sarah read this?
Yeah.
Is that what you said? Sarah, you want to read? Nicely done. She read the first word. You don't want to continue.
Good enough? Wait, who's reading? I got lost.
I think you are.
Can Sarah read and then I also try to read at the same time?
I read.
She read a word.
Wait,
What is
it's
the
going to be
point?
so delayed.
What?
It would be so delayed. I think it would be fun.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm going to read. A number of research studies done when television was a relatively new medium demonstrated that television interfered with family activities and the formation of family relationships. One survey showed that 78% of the respondents indicated no conversation taking place during viewing except at specified times, such as commercials. The study noted the television atmosphere in most households is one of quiet absorption on the part of family members who are present. The nature of the family social life during a program could be described as parallel rather than interactive, and the set does seem to dominate family life when it is on. 36% of the respondents in another study indicated that television viewing was the only family activity participated in during the week. The situation has only worsened during the intervening decades. When the studies were made, the great majority of American families had only one television set. Though the family may have spent more time watching TV in those early days, at least they were all together while they watched. Today, the vast majority of all families have 2 or more sets, and nearly a third of all children live in homes with 4 or more TVs. The most telling statistic, almost 60% of all families watch television during meals and not necessarily at the same TV set. When do they talk about what they did that day? When do they make plans, exchange views, share jokes, tell about their triumphs or little disasters? When do they get to be a real family? Undermining the family. Tom, do you want to take back over?
That was the plan. Of course, television has not been the only factor in the decline of family life in America. The steadily rising divorce rate, the increase in the number of working mothers, the trends towards people moving far away from home, the breakdown of neighborhoods and communities, all these have seriously affected the family. Obviously, the sources of family breakdown do not necessarily come from the family itself, but from the circumstances in which the family finds itself in the way of life imposed upon it by those Isaiah distracted me, by those circumstances. Yuri, what is with these names? Is Yuri
Bronfenbrenner.
Yuri Bronfenbrenner has suggested. I'll read this one. When those circumstances and the way of life they generate undermine relationships of trust and emotional security between family members, when they make it difficult for parents to care for, educate, and enjoy their children, when there is no support or recognition from the outside world, for one's role as a parent, and when time spent with one's family means the frustration of a career, personal fulfillment, and peace of mind, the development of the child is adversely affected.
So I hate to pause, but I'm going to have to unplug Tom from the screen because I'm at 4% and I can't charge and be plugged into the screen, which is such a flawed system. Oh, wait. Yes, I can. I thought I went into the same hole. Yeah, I haven't been charging like while I have the screen. I'm an idiot. I really thought that it was the same hole. Sorry. Sorry, that was such a huge distraction. Please continue.
It's just capitalized but.
Oh my God, I can't wait for you to read this name coming up.
No. Certainly, television is not the single destroyer of American family life, but the medium's dominant role in the family serves to anesthetize parents into accepting their family's diminished state and prevents them from struggling to regain some of the richness the family once possessed. One research study alone seems to contradict the idea that television has a negative impact on family life. In their important book, Television and the Quality of Life, sociologist Robert Hubie and Mihaly
I don't know. It's probably Mahali.
I don't think that that's what I should be focusing on right now.
Fair enough. 6 and Mahali.
Imagine having your first name in the middle of your last name or at the end of your last name.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's insane. It's one letter off. He's got like the same first name and the second half of his last name. Okay. Yeah.
Mihaly observed that the heaviest viewers out of TV among their subjects were no less likely to spend time with their families than the lightest viewers. Moreover, those heavy viewers reported feeling happier, more relaxed, and satisfied when watching TV with their families than light viewers did. Based on these reports, the researchers reached the conclusion that the television viewing harmonizes with family life. Using the same data, however, the researchers made another observation about heavy and light viewers. Families that spend substantial portions of their time together watching television are less likely to experience greater percentages of their family time feeling relatively passive and unchallenged compared to families who spend small proportions of their time watching TV. At first glance, the two observations seem at odds. The heavy viewers feel happy and satisfied, yet their family time is more passive and unchallenging, less satisfying in reality. But when one considers the nature of the television experience, the contradiction vanishes. Surely it stands to reason that the television experience is instrumental in preventing viewers from recognizing its dulling effects, much as a mind-altering drug might do. In spite of everything, the American family muddles on, dimly aware that something is amiss, but distracted from an understanding of its plight by an endless stream of television images. As family ties grow weaker and vaguer, as children's lives become more separate from their parents, as parents' educational role in their children's lives is taken over by the media, the school, and the peer group, family life becomes increasingly more unsatisfying for both parents and children. All that seems to be left is love, an abstraction that family members know is necessary but find great difficulty giving to each other since the traditional opportunities for expressing it within the family have been reduced or eliminated. That sentence is really cool, in my opinion.
It's cool. I like that sentence. Yeah. Well, we're like making great time because we literally have like 2 minutes before the bell rings, maybe 3. So good timing. The whole basic thing is like families should do more to bond than just watch TV because then you're not like engaged. So we'll talk about it tomorrow.
It's 3 o'clock.
Thank you.
Okay.
4%. How did I get down to 4%? Crazy. Honestly, if you plugged it, actually, you know what? What's that thing? Dismissal. Yeah. It's being real slow. Oh my God. I couldn't hear the thing at all. I'm glad he recognized that was for him. Yeah, if you want. The bell's about to ring.
Okay.
Okay. Randall Wade is not here today. Madison Gale, you're usually like the first one on this. You're not first. In fact, where are you? Are you here? Oh my gosh, this is being so slow. It's driving me insane. Could be because Google was down this morning. It's like Google and YouTube and something else.
Illegal? What's illegal about this?
I don't know.
Illegal voting.
I have no idea what that means.
Like somebody's stealing somebody else.
Maybe so. Why would it be on the
Why
list?
would it be on the roster? Like,
You'd think that they'd
My mom
do something more about it than just write it. I don't think your mom is on here.
That's so cringe.
That's insane. She's always first. Yeah, yeah. We were just saying, we don't know. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Bye. Yeah, this thing is being real goofy.
Bye.
Bye. I forgot that y'all were still here.